All right. I yeah, I needed that break. How's everyone doing today, guys? My name's C Codes, and we're back with some reviews and vlogs and whatnot. So today is Falcon and Winter Soldier. Again, I know I'm a day late for the second week in a row, but I really needed a week just to plan everything out for the rest of my semester here in college, because going like these vlogs and videos, really, they haven't been too much of an effect on my stuff, but with finals coming up and projects and all that, I really had to plan everything out, and I just needed a week to get everything sorted and just, not to mention, lighten the load on things. So we're back, and let's talk about this episode of the Falcon Winter Soldier. The whole world is watching. World. Ooh. When you have a title like that, the whole world is watching, something's gonna go down, and oh boy, did something go down in this episode. And I'm gonna say, this is my favorite episode so far. I mean, again, kind of like with WandaVision, the episodes are getting better and better as they keep going. And especially with the fact that this is only 6 episodes, and we just wrapped up episode 4. We're in the final third. We're heading into the final third. So, yeah, where do we start with this one? Actually, let's start with that opening with Bucky at Wakanda with the campfire. That was a really, I mean, for some people, you could be like, oh yeah, that's a flashback, but they really sell that importance of that moment when he realizes that he is finally free of this control that he's had, or that he's been forced into. Just the way that they read off the words, and at first, he's scared, you see the terror in his eyes, and then once they go through all of them and nothing happens, you just see the relief in his face. It's like he's in tears. He just can't believe it. That's just all without saying a word. Sebastian Stan killed that scene. My goodness, I literally had goosebumps when that scene was over. I'm just like, wow, does that really build on his character more and more? And obviously, that is the thing about Bucky in this, is just, he's been through so much, and you feel like when it came to the movies, when it came to Steve took Bucky to Wakanda to get him mentally back to normal in a way, and then we had the end credit scene in Black Panther to say, oh, what's Bucky been up to over these past couple of years. Then obviously Infinity War happened. We saw him get dusted. So to actually see the moment when he discovered, when he was finally free of everything that has happened to him, at least knowing that he no longer is someone's weapon. That was a really cool scene, and that was really powerful, and I'm really glad we finally got to see that, because, I mean, you could have easily brushed that off and be like, oh, that's in the past, but it's to actually have that scene really is powerful. So, and this is immediately followed by Bucky and that guard that was there to recite the words. Obviously, in Latvia, they are, they're obviously there for Zemo. Bucky says that they need him to figure all this out, but of course they're like, do you remember what this person did, all that? So obviously, Bucky's in a situation where he has to hand over Zemo to Wakanda, or at least to the guards. I forgot their names, even though they say it they spell it, they pretty much straight up say it in this episode, but I completely forgot it. But so they give Bucky 8 hours, and at first I'm like thinking, okay, so are we gonna have this episode where Bucky is gonna keep the secret, and then when the Wakanda guards show up, Sam is gonna be like, "Why didn't you tell me this?" And then Bucky's like, "Oh, I didn't want you to worry. I thought we would get all this done in time." No, Bucky literally goes back to Zemo and Sam and like, "Yeah, the Wakanda guards are here for Zemo," and they're like, "Okay, we don't need to worry about that then." So basically, Bucky's like, "Yeah, we got 8 hours to figure this out." So Zemo's like, "Okay," and they're trying to figure all this out, and they go to their lead where Karli was, that the old lady that Karli was caring for at the end of the last episode. She died. So Sam, Bucky, and Zemo, they go there, and for the most part, not surprisingly, Sam and Bucky have no luck, but Zemo does, and again, I thought they were gonna do Zemo was gonna get the information, but lie and say, I got nothing as well. But no, he actually after he gets the information, in a kind of creepy way, actually. I wasn't 100% certain how to feel about this scene where he walks up to a group of kids singing this song, sits down, pulls out his bag, and just dumps all the candy on this little table. I'm like, creepy vibes. But yeah, so he gets the information, and even though he could have easily have lied and said I got nothing, he straight up says, "Oh, I got the information. I'm not gonna tell you, because if I tell you, that means I don't have any leverage over you." So, he's obviously thinking a few steps ahead, and I'm just liking him more and more. And I again, that's kind of the point of his character is, I mean, in Civil War, you understood his motives, you got what he was going after, but you didn't really. But that was it. You understood why he was doing it. You understood he was kind of he was very intelligent with all this planning. But you were like, yeah, but like the Avengers are gonna come back. We know that they're gonna reassemble for Thanos. So this guy pretty much just. Okay, yeah. So I like how in this he not only has that side of manipulation and like he's thinking a few steps ahead, but he's charming. This guy is funny. Like he has moments in the show where he literally just says something or does something like in the last God. Who's ever gone on the YouTube and sat through that hour-long video that Marvel released of Zemo dancing, I give props to you, because I don't have enough time to do that. But yeah, that was so funny. Okay, back to this episode. So they figure out where Karli is, and we see that Karli hid the super soldier serum, and so she takes it because obviously she doesn't feel safe with it just hiding in this grave. So she takes it, and it seems like everything's gonna go well, because they have to go. Zemo is gonna lead Sam and Bucky to Karli, and they're gonna figure out what to do from there. But then John Walker, aka Captain America, and his partner Battlestar, they show up. And I love this line. I love this line. They're like, Sam's like, how'd you track us down this time? And I think it was John who said, "What, you think two Avengers walking around Latvia is not going to go unnoticed?" Like, literally 2 Avengers walking around anywhere probably won't go unnoticed. So it makes sense that they were spotted. But Walker obviously he's getting more tense with this because he wants to get results. He wants to catch Karli. He wants to get this job done so he can basically title of being Captain America, because, you know, Captain America is about protecting. Yeah, and that's another thing. It's like I like this development. I mean, I know I said, like, in episode 2 that it was hard to tell whether it was just he wanted to do this because he was a jerk, or he was already a jerk to begin with, and that he was playing this as a role, or if he actually was a good he himself is a decent guy, but he's just been slowly falling into this corruption with being Captain America and stuff. And this episode really dives into that. I mean, for the most part. Let's get to that. So obviously with Walker and Battlestar with them, they're forced to join them. So the 5 of them go to where Karli is holding this lady's funeral. And I like how Sam, I like how Sam. And again, I called this in the last episode. Like, with Karli's character, I was like, well, I feel like I need to see her with Falcon or something like that, and that's pretty much what happens in this episode. Sam confronts Karli one-on-one, and they just talk, because I love how they bring up the fact that Sam used to give advice he knew soldiers that lost people, and that he knows what they're going through. And then John Walker throws this back. He's like, oh yeah, I know those soldiers, which is why I think this is a bad idea. I'm like, oh, that doesn't help. And yeah, I mean, Walker really screws up in this episode, in my opinion, because they go to the building, and so Sam's like, let me talk to her, and Walker's like, no, we're not doing that. And then Sam's like, just give me time, give me a chance. And then Walker's like, you have 10 minutes. And Sam goes in, and Walker is very impatient. So the conversation that Sam has with Karli it is what I was expecting, the two, because, he's like, Sam, he's like, I understand why you're doing this. I understand that you want to do good. I understand what you've been through, but you can't do it like this. And so obviously, they're having that back and forth thing of like, and I love Karli being like, well, what about you? Where are you? What are you in this? And Sam, I love Sam's rebuttal of like, my sister is asking the exact same question. And it seems like, yeah, they're going to have this moment, but then Walker, because he's so impatient, goes in and just ruins it. And even though he goes at Bucky too. He's like, with that serum flowing through your veins, so easy for you, isn't it? And it's like, damn. Like, really? God, this guy's a jerk sometimes. And so obviously when Walker shows up, Karli's like, you set me up, so she bails, and so the group has to go find her. And of course, when Walker, Battlestar, and Bucky went to Karli, they left Zemo alone, even though he was chained up, even though he was cuffed to something. I'm like, you can't just leave him like that. And of course, Zemo breaks out. I thought he was gonna escape, or at least I thought he was gonna. Maybe his original plan was this: go find Karli, kill her, destroy all the serum, and then just bail. Like kill three birds in one stone in that case, because it would be like, leader of the Flag Smashers dead, super soldier serum gone, me free, check. That would basically be killing 3 birds in one stone in this case. And that's kind of that. He gets 2 of them. He doesn't actually. No, he's over 3. He's over 3 in this. Because he finds Karli. He shoots her a couple of times. Karli then drops all of the super soldier serum, and Zemo smashes all but 1. And of course, it's just off to the corner, and one of the reasons why Zemo didn't get to the last one is because, yeah, it was off in the corner, so he wouldn't have seen it originally, and then 2, Walker nailed him in the head with the shield, knocking him out. So, and of course, Walker notices the one serum that's not destroyed, and I do like this. I like how he doesn't. I mean, he takes the serum, he puts it in his pocket, but he doesn't take it right away. He actually, he contemplates it because he basically needs the evidence to persuade him to take it. He doesn't just find it, take it, and bam. No, he takes it and then he just questions it. He's like, should I take it? Should I not? And so obviously they they fail to capture her. So Karli gets away though because Zemo was more focused on destroying the serum in the moment instead of killing her. And Sam, Bucky, John, and Battlestar, they all go back to Zemo's apartment and they rest up, or at least, well, like, Zemo's resting up. And I like how he asks Sam if he had the opportunity to take the serum, would he? And Sam, like, immediately says no. And Zemo acknowledges that. He's like, no hesitation. Very impressive, because yeah, it would be because even in the moment when Zemo was looking at the serum, like you kind of had there, he has that look in his eye, like even like he himself, like even though he hates the serum, even though he hates these ideas to superheroes and stuff, like even there was this moment earlier in the episode where they're talking about how, or he's like it's like all these people, like what did they do? And Sam's like except Steve Rogers, and Zemo was like, true, but when has there ever been another Steve Rogers? He's like, he's basically acknowledging the fact, he acknowledges the fact that yes, Steve Rogers is the exception to the rule, but he is the only exception to the rule. There is no other Steve Rogers. And so even he, in the moment when he has the super soldier serum, he has a bit of a hesitation. Like there's a look in his face where it's like, I could take it, but he takes his motivation kicks in and he destroys all the vials except the one that Walker has. And when they're in the apartment, Walker is ready to, he's like, I'm sick and tired of this, we're taking you in. And then the Wakandan guards show up and basically like, your time is up. And Walker tries to defuse the situation, being like, hi, I'm Captain America. And it's like, nope. It's like, first rule being Captain America, never say you're Captain America. Because remember how Steve Rogers always presented himself. He never said Captain America, he said Steve Rogers. Because that's who he was. He was Steve Rogers. He wasn't Captain America. The only reason why I would say Captain America was because, I don't know, title, something like, or, if he had to say the title, But in this case, John Walker's basically saying, hi, I'm Captain America. What's the problem here? And so, pretty funny fight, in my opinion, because the Wakandan guards beat everyone up. Like, Walker gets his butt kicked in this fight. Sam and Bucky, they definitely take a beating. There's even this crazy moment with Bucky when he's fighting the guard that he talked to originally, and she for like a series of moves disables, not only this, like takes his arm off. Like she doesn't rip it off, he literally just like does like a bunch of pressure points and then the arm just falls off. And it's just that moment of like shock, you're like, holy crap. It's like, and I like this, and I've seen videos on YouTube of like that analyzing that scene, and it's just like how this it's like it's not just simply, oh, I know how to take off this arm. It's the fact that this is someone from a country who gave him this arm that helped him. These people helped him. This woman that he's fighting helped him. And now she is literally taking away something that they gave to him. That's pretty messed up. I mean, granted, in the moment, it's more of just them fighting over Zemo. But of course, that's kind of the twist in this whole thing. Is like, this kind of feels like another Civil War again, with kind of Zemo being a key component of that. And of course, during all this fighting, what happens? Zemo just slips away. He finally escapes, and now all of a sudden we have not only do we have Karli on the run, but we have Zemo on the run now. And Walker, meanwhile, he just got his butt kicked by the Wakandan guards, and so he even acknowledges the fact that like they weren't even super soldiers. He's like, I like that. I like that concept. It's like well, I mean, part of the mindset is like he doesn't want. It's like if he didn't want to take the super soldier serum. If he didn't want to take the super soldier serum originally, in my mind, it would be because he wanted to prove that he didn't need powers to be Captain America. He didn't need the serum to be Captain America. But even when he battled the super soldiers, he didn't get his. Yeah, actually, he probably did better against the super soldiers than he did against his Wakandan guards, because he got beat in this. And like the Wakandan guards, they're well trained, they're highly skilled, but they don't have powers. They don't have a super soldier serum, so he simply just got beat by these people, and so he feels defeated. But again, that's not enough to push him over to say, I'm taking this serum. He then talks to his partner, and the two have those moment of like, he's like, because he asks his partner like, if you had the chance to take the serum, would you? And his partner's like, oh yeah, I would. And then they're like, well, wouldn't you be afraid of what it does to you? And then his partner's like, well, doesn't it just like amplify what you are inside? And so, yeah, Walker inside he's more of a soldier though, because, and this is all going back to Captain America: The First Avenger with the reason why Steve was the one who got the serum was because it wasn't what he was on the outside physically, it was what he was on the inside mentally, because he was the one that stepped up for the little guy. He was willing to put his life on the line to help people. Whereas Walker, he's a soldier. He is, he's trained, he's skilled, he does what he believes is necessary to get the job done. When he talks about the medals that he earned, he says he was rewarded for the worst day of his life. They talk about this. They don't go into detail what happened in Afghanistan. They just said all that stuff we did in Afghanistan. It's like, obviously they did some bad stuff, and even like his partner like acknowledges, like, imagine how many people we could have saved with that serum. And it's like, okay, this is okay. And yeah, so I like how it's a step-by-step process. It's not just find serum, take it, bam, because that would make him one-dimensional. So I like how this is probably the best villain in the series so far. Actually, yeah, this is the best villain. Like, in terms of development, let me say that Zemo is a fun villain or anti-villain in this case. He's a fun anti-villain. I like that. Or anti-hero. I don't know. Yeah, he's Zemo's fun, but again, we got most of his development in Civil War. Karli, we do get in development, but I don't know. I feel like it's weird. I like Karli, I do, but I just, when you say who of the Marvel MCU villains are the ones that are not only the biggest threat, not only really deep, but are very sympathetic, all the check marks of what makes a good villain for the MCU. She's she's up there, but she's not near the top. I don't know. It's weird. This is just me. This is me. I really don't know why I don't see her as a big bad. I don't know if if there are other people out there who feel the same way, okay, but if there aren't, I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. It's just weird. But speaking of Karli, she goes another step further with how she is willing to get things done, or in this case, get some information. Is she calls up Sam's sister because she's like, I'm trying to figure out what she literally says to Sam's sister. I'm trying to figure out whether or not to kill your brother. And so then she's like, tell your brother to meet me at these set of coordinates, or else I will meet you there at your house with your kids. And I'm like, okay, yeah, you're going a step too far. Okay. Well, I mean, she went a step too far last episode when she killed people, but like this episode, she's like going another step. So obviously, Sam and Bucky, they go into Karli, and this is kind of becoming a trope in my opinion, because you have the hero has the sympathetic conversation with the villain early on. Something goes wrong, person feels betrayed. Then they have a quick conversation later on, and something immediately goes wrong once again. It's like, okay, we're doing this. And of course, it's just because we're near the end of the episode, and when they find out where Walker is, they go to Walker. Then we see that Walker has taken the super soldier serum, and he is at first he's restrained. You know, he's restrained, but he's kind of you can tell he's angry. You can tell because like there's one moment where they're battling the Flag Smashers, and I think it's after Bucky catches one of the knives that are thrown at them. The way Walker delivers this line, or Wyatt Russell delivers the line. He's like, "What's with all that?" He's like, "What's with all the knives?" I'm like, "Wow, I'm looking at Snake from freaking, or no, I'm not Snake yet. Whatever, Big Kurt Russell from Big Trouble in Little China. That's the one I'm thinking about when I heard that line. What's with all the knives? And you know, it seems like this fight is going pretty tight. And then Karli comes in, and she does something stupid. She knocks Battlestar into a pillar, seemingly killing him. I think he's dead. I've heard some people saying, no, he got really hurt, but he's not dead. I think he's dead. I mean, because the way that Walker looks at him, he's like, okay. And then, of course, Walker gets really mad, and he snaps. Honestly, he snaps. Like, there's no going back, in my opinion, from this, because the entire few minutes of this episode are just okay. Because so after Karli seemingly kills Battlestar, Walker chases after one of her guys, jumps out a window, does a superhero landing on top of a car, runs after the dude who throws a cinder block bench. Walker literally he literally just smacks it away with the shield. Like, he's not even, like, his body doesn't even get, like, there's no, like, bounce back from it. Like, he literally just stands, smacks it. Then he goes after the dude, throws the shield at him back, more and more and more, hits him, and in front of all these people, literally, they're in the middle of this square, and all these people are watching, people on their phone, people with cameras on their phones, they're filming this. The way they do this, I mean, I get it, because you can't really show the actual so, you know, because you have the multiple shots of Walker raising the shield up, going down. You hear the scream, you hear kind of like a slice sound, and then all you see of the dude is just blood on his hand as it goes limp. And then you pan out, you see Walker stepping away from the body. You see, like, the look on his face, you see everyone looking, you see Sam and Bucky, and then you have that final shot of him holding the shield with blood on the edge of it. Oh, this episode. Oh. And we have two left. And if I had to take a guess where we go from here, with everyone filming that, Walker is probably going to go rogue. I mean, he's technically already gone rogue, but he'll go full rogue here to try and stop Karli and Zemo, and he basically be like, if Sam and Bucky get in his way, he will not hesitate to kill him, which will probably force Sam and Bucky to have to at least beat him, at least fight him. They're gonna fight him now. There's no there that is not that is there is no question that they're gonna fight John Walker in this now. So all I gotta say is that fight is gonna be nuts, in my opinion. And if I had a feeling how it's gonna go, it's gonna be Sam versus Walker. Sam versus Walker, Bucky versus Zemo, and Karli. Karli probably will have a change of heart. That's how I see it. Never know. 2 episodes left, so yeah. Okay. All right. I think that was enough talk. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked it, leave a like. If you want to leave a comment, leave a comment. If you want to subscribe, subscribe. You don't have to. I'm just saying. And with all that said, see you in the next video.